Okay, so like, have you ever like stopped and thought about how we mark time?
Huh. Yeah, actually all the time. It's kind of my thing.
Right, it's 2025 for us, but that's just like one way of looking at it.
Exactly. There are so many other calendars out there, each with its own unique history and way of keeping track of time.
It's a whole world of calendars beyond the one, hanging on your wall. So let's dive in, right? Let's start with the familiar, I guess, the Gregorian calendar 2025. But then we've got the Julian calendar, which is still hanging around.
Oh, absolutely. Still used by some Orthodox churches. Still 2025, but the dates are off by 13 days.
13 days. Whoa, that's a big difference.
It is. It just goes to show you how even small inaccuracies in calendars can really add up over time. The Julian calendar was the standard for centuries, but eventually those discrepancies led to the Gregorian reform.
So like a calendar upgrade. Makes sense. Okay, now for something totally different. The Hebrew calendar. We're at 5785,
Yep.
heading into 5786 after Rosh Hashanah.
The Hebrew calendar is a luni-solar calendar, meaning it follows both the cycles of the moon and the sun. It's essential for Jewish religious observances, holidays, the whole cultural life.
Cool. Another lunisolar calendar is the Islamic calendar. Right now it's 1446, soon to be 1447 in July, but this one's purely lunar.
Yep, that's a key difference. Since it's based solely on the moon, the months don't line up with the seasons in the same way. So Islamic holidays like Ramadan actually drift through the Gregorian year.
That's wild. Now, over in India, there's a whole mix of calendars, like the Vikram Samvat and the Shaka Samvat.
Absolutely. Right now, Vikram Samvat is at 2081-2082, while Shaka Samvat is 1946-1947. Just shows the incredible diversity of culture and history in a single country.
Multiple layers of time all happening at once. Then there's the Buddhist calendar at 2569.
And that year count starts with the Buddha's enlightenment, a pivotal event. It's fascinating how calendars can mark historical or religious moments, acting as anchors for cultural memory.
That is cool. Okay, ready for a brain twister. The Chinese calendar.
Oh yeah, this one is super interesting.
It can be 4722 or 4515, depending on the reckoning system.
The Chinese calendar is luni-solar too, but it also incorporates elements like the 12-year animal cycle. So it's not just years you're tracking, but cycles within cycles, adding a whole other layer of meaning.
Cycles within cycles. Wow. The Persian calendar is a bit more straightforward. It's 1403, 1404, and they're celebrating the start of spring in the northern hemisphere.
Exactly. Their new year, Nowruz, falls on the spring equinox. That alignment with nature is no coincidence. It reflects a deep connection to the Earth's rhythms.
I like that. Now we've got the Coptic calendar, used by the Coptic Orthodox Church of Alexandria. They're at 1741, 1742.
The Coptic calendar is particularly fascinating because it's got these direct links to ancient Egypt, descending from their calendar system. Talk about historical continuity.
Wow, a piece of ancient history. Speaking of which, the Ethiopian calendar is at 2017, 2018.
The Ethiopian calendar, much like the Coptic, has 13 months. It highlights the sheer variety of approaches to timekeeping across the globe.
Okay, and then we have all these amazing indigenous calendars from, well, everywhere. Like, you've got the Mayan calendar, famous for its long count cycles and doomsday predictions, and the Aztec calendar with its intricate systems of interlocking cycles, and then the Hopi calendar, so closely tied to the moon in agriculture. And of course, you can't forget about the Inuit people in the Arctic who track time based on like the phases of the moon and the changes in the seasons. Then you've got incredibly diverse calendar systems found in indigenous Australian and African cultures, all springing from their unique environments and traditions. It's really amazing.
What strikes me about a lot of these indigenous calendars is this incredibly profound understanding of natural cycles, a connection to the land that goes way deeper than just ticking clocks. It's a whole different way of experiencing time.
It really is. It's like, how does our way of measuring time affect how we see the world?
Whoa, now that is a big question.
Right? So, listeners, I've got a challenge for you.
Yeah.
Why not try converting your birthday or some other important date into one of these other calendar systems? You might discover something surprising.
Definitely worth a try. I mean, there's a whole universe of calendars out there just waiting to be explored.
Exactly.